Hey everybody, I don't think anybody's out there yet, but we are trying this new live streaming thing and we're going to see how it works, particularly just as another way to share some of the logic stuff that I'm really into. So make sure that if you are joining or watching at some point to get some feedback on audio levels and all of that stuff. I've done some preliminary tests, but you just never know. So we're going to try to figure this thing out, make it useful. But as always, there's going to be some fun here. Okay, so trying to see if I can also log on here from my phone for comments and things, but every once in a while I may switch over to our browser here just to see what's happening with it. Need to hook up a second monitor right here. Anyway, what I want to look at a little bit today is this project with some vocal layering that I did. And there's a couple different pieces to this. One, you can see that there's 5 different tracks here, a main vocal, a second part, and as we go into this little chorus type section, I added increasingly more layers there. So just check this out for a second, see if you can hear it.
It's the opposite from how I feel. Still I wanna have a try, even when you're too tired to have a try. Let it burn like butterflies fly towards the fire. Let it burn like butterflies fly towards the fire. Let it burn like butterflies fly towards the fire. Let it burn like butterflies fly towards the fire.
So the original idea with this was to just add additional layers of complexity as it goes along. You can see there's different panning for each of them. Let's listen to it just by itself, see what it sounds like. And we'll just start kind of partway through here.
Let it burn like butterflies fly towards the fire.
You hear a lot of noise there.
Let it burn like butterflies fly towards the fire.
And that noise is because when I originally sang the first part, I was also playing the keyboard part, which is up here.
Butterflies fly towards the fire. Let it burn like butterflies fly towards the fire. Let it burn like butterflies fly towards the fire.
Okay, so that's part of it. We are going to just really quickly look at some of the effects that we're using here. So for instance, I'm using the pitch, flex pitch on some of these. See down here. Let's turn on the view on all of these. You'll see which ones I'm not using. Cool. Okay, real quick, let's check in. Cool. So with these, let's go into the editor for a minute. And I do a lot of the pitch control in here. This is one way I've done things to get things locked in.
Let it burn, let it burn.
We're also sometimes using, so this would be one place I'm adjusting some of the pitch. The other place is over here with the plugin. So with just a really fast response time in the key that I'm working on.
Let it burn, let it burn. Let it burn like butterflies fly towards the fire. Let it burn like butterflies fly towards the fire.
And when I'm singing a part like this, it will actually be sung through the pitch correction plugin, and then I'll fine tune some of it later on. Now, some of this looks like it could use some more fine tuning if I was to really polish it, but I also like how the auto tune or the pitch correction is activating in sometimes unexpected places. It gives a little bit more of that robotic feel to it, which is kind of the point of some of this. So definitely something that's what I'm really interested with that. Cool. Let's. Now, the other thing that I did with all of these was set different levels for them, so there's some automation for volume. There, turn that off.
Guess I know. Let it burn like butterflies fly towards the fire.
So you have to get the level just right, the panning how you want it, get the pitch correction how you want it, and it starts to form a more cohesive layering scheme at that point. Now the other parts of this song at the same time, one of the interesting things would be this bass part here. We talked about retro synth pretty recently, but this is pretty interesting. Now, if you're listening with headphones, and if in fact this stream is truly stereo, you'll hear the spread plugin here spreading out that bass part. So here's what it sounds like with it off. More in the center. Then I spread it out by frequency so that certain parts are going to the left side, certain are going to the right, and that gets this out of the way of things that are happening in the center channel. So that's part of it. Smart strings. So that's the bed besides the drums. The drums, this part is really coming from the drummer. And you can see down here, it's just one of the electronic hits with a loop that just goes through the whole song. And that was kind of intentional. But the next step of this song may be to program out a little bit more a part that's going to change over time or do some interesting things with it.
Let it rush. Let it burn like butterflies fly towards the fire.
So that's an interesting part about that. And honestly, I don't know how interesting it is at all. It looked like at one point I was going to be using some other instruments here. Never actually put anything in, it looks like. And this is an empty channel, so perhaps I was thinking about the Moon guitar for more of like a live performance aspect to this. The original keyboard part here. Definitely performed live without any editing after the fact. And you'll see we don't even have quantization turned on at all, but it's just a layer, so it's not ever just really by itself. And throughout here, every single section builds on a previous section. So we get to this final one, and we don't have as many parts. We don't have this other one, but it's a different section completely.
Let it burn. Let it burn. Let it burn.
And then it just fades out. So this, I just wanted to showcase a little bit of this specific vocal thing that I was doing here, and show you how I was getting there with it. So again, just to recap, we have these parts. Each of them are also going through the Auto-Tune plugin. Some of them I've edited using the Flex Pitch. In a second, I'll show you a little bit how that works. And then I've panned them and adjusted the levels to them. Some of these, like this one here, will have the pitch correction, compressor. Looks like it's fairly mild, but it's still working.
Guess there's no one special to you, 'cause you leave your empty heart so full.
We have this equalizer.
Have a try to see if I can stay by your side. Let it burn like a coon's heart.
And so we've got those two effects going on. Let's actually close those down instead of just hiding them. This one, very similar. This one does not have the equalizer. Neither do any of these ones. Okay, so I just had the equalizer on the first couple. Probably because of the range they were in, I was trying to clean up a little bit of the mud and really brighten them up some. Because the way I'm using the auto-tune type effect makes it sound more like lasers, and so I really want the high end focus, the low end gone, and some of the mid mud gone for sure as well. So that's part of it. Okay, let's also look at what I was talking about with that auto tune with the flex pitch. Let's hide our automation. Let's turn on flex mode, go into our editor.
Guess there's no one special to you.
You'll hear it's the same note both ways, really. At least it's trying it to be. And that's because it's going through the pitch correction plugin out here. One of the things I do on some of these is remove some of the vibrato so it's a little bit more flat note. And sometimes we should solo it out. Sometimes we want to hear it in the context.
There's no one special to you. There's no one special to you.
So it looks like all of these really would come down. And then this one up. And then we'd flatten them out. Not too much. There we go. Let's see.
Guess there's no one special to you.
You. Look how widely variance that pitch is.
Guess there's no one special to you.
Okay, let's hear that in the overall context.
Guess there's no one special to you. 'Cause you leave your empty heart so full.
Let's get that one nailed down just a little bit more.
Empty heart so full. Still I wanna have.
It's been a little while since I've worked on this, and so once you get back into it, you really get a feel for which key you're in, so you have to really stop guessing at what notes they are and which way you're going to go. You just look and say, oh, should be an A.
Still I wanna have a try to see.
We'll see if this one should have gone down or not. But so if you want to go full half step, you pull it the whole note. If you want to just adjust it some, you pull the little hook at the top there.
Still I wanna have a try to see.
Let's see.
Still I wanna have a try to see if I can stay by your side.
See, some of these are fine through the real-time pitch correction. Some of them are better when you actually do it this way.
Let it burn like a coons on. Let it.
So this one I feel like might benefit from a little bit of flattening out. Makes the real-time one do less work.
Like a coons on. Let it burn.
Burn. Okay, let's try these all together now. The first part may need a little work too.
Like a coons on. Let it burn.
And in a case like this, right here, this is a good place to maybe experiment with something. I feel like that we could do this. Let's flip this into another region here. That way I'm not going to mess up anything coming down after the fact. But let's do this.
Like a coons on. Let it burn.
Adds a little bit of artifacting at the end, which I actually really like for this style of work.
Like a coons on. Let it burn.
Yeah, I'm digging.
Like a coons on. Let it burn.
I want to hear that soloed out once.
Burn, let it burn.
Yeah, it's cool. Because the drums and stuff get pulled out. Now, I don't necessarily want all of that there. So let's have it stop right at the end of that.
Burn, let it burn.
So let's pull it just a little bit back. Just a fraction.
Let it burn. Burn, let it burn.
Let's see.
Let it burn. Let it burn, let it burn.
See, this is another one where we could do that with. Let's go ahead and just assign scissor tool to our second one here. There we go.
Let it burn like a coal tar. Let it burn.
I'm just extending all these out just a little bit.
Let it burn.
Let's undo that just a little.
Let it burn.
Cool.
Let it burn like a coal tar. Let it burn.
Not a lot to work with here. And it's dangerous to do that because it's going to leave the end a little different. Let's see how it sounds.
Let it burn. Let it burn.
See, it's a little too much, so let's take it back in. I'm listening to this in conjunction with the other voices that are happening. I like it when things are tidy with this type of vocal layering. Now, it's messy overall still. That's also part of what I like about this, but there's a certain amount of messiness to it.
Let it burn like a coal tar. Let it burn.
So this is the kind of thing I'm going to be doing with the flex pitch, and it just gives you full creative control over everything that's happening with it. It's pretty cool. In terms of how the song ends with a fade out and begins, I think those were just kind of arbitrary. Little solo happening down here with this part. There's an arpeggiator in here.
Guess there's no one.
That arpeggiator is barely being used in this place, but it's the exact same one down here.
A dream that saved the world. Just wanna.
The other thing that's happening with this particular instrument is this stereo delay. That gives it some interesting depth in terms of the left and right sides there.
Guess there's no one special to you, 'cause you leave your empty heart so full. Still I wanna have a try to see if I can stay by your side. Let it burn. Yes, I know how you feel. It's the opposite from how I feel. Still, I wanna have a try, even when you're too tired to have a try. Let it burn like butterflies fly towards the fire. Let it burn like butterflies fly towards the fire. Let it burn like butterflies fly towards the fire. Let it burn like butterflies fly towards the fire. Never dreamed I'd save the world. Just wanna fool around. Lay underneath the sky so blue I'd kiss your face in the morning too. Let it burn, let it be ashes. Let it burn, I wanna be, let it be ashes. Let it burn, I wanna be, let it be ashes. Let it burn, I wanna be, let it be ashes. Let it burn, 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 let it burn.
Okay, that's it. We're going to pull the plug on this live stream. Thanks for watching, and come back. We're going to be doing more of these. So let me know if there's anything specific you want to know about. Of course, subscribe. And I'll be doing a little bit more formal announcement. Really, this is a kind of a test run of the streaming stuff because I'm brand new to it. And we'll see if we can make it better. Peace out.